Attention, everybody. The views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. So without any further ado, here's the man with the plan to put gold in your hand, Tony Hammock. Take it away, Tony.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, hello, everybody. Don't you love February in Missouri? We got another snow day kind of going on out there.
Snow way.
Yeah, and which was great timing because our 12-year-old has a field trip to Jefferson City. He was kind of concerned on whether they were going to cancel school or not, but we had him at the bus at 6 a.m. and they took off, so hopefully they're safe. And they'll be back at 4:45, so it's going to be a long day for someone. Anyway, glad you're here. Got a good show for you. Lots happened since last week. It's been a crazy time in the markets, for all markets, that is. Precious metals, stock markets, bond markets. We're going to get into that a little bit here and so forth. But, thanks for tuning in. I think usually the thing I usually like to start with, the first thing, is the stewardship reading. And let me see if I can find that real quick. Just because I like that one. It's kind of the backbone of the show, because that's what we're all about. We're trying to give everybody an idea of how to look at some alternative assets and to keep everything in the right priority list as far as serving God and tithing and all this kind of stuff. So let me see if I can find this one. Where did it go? There we go. Today's God is first, daily workplace inspiration, money and stewardship. So let me get to the second lesson, because I think we did lesson 1 last week. And yes, second lesson. Here we go. So this one is recognizing our source. Pride is the greatest temptation to a successful marketplace minister. When we begin accumulating wealth, managing people, and becoming known for our marketplace expertise, we are most susceptible to falling in the most devious sin in God's eyes, pride. The Bible tells us that God is the reason we are able to produce wealth. It is not of our own making. As soon as we move into the place where we begin to think more highly of ourselves than we ought, God says He will take action. You may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. If you ever forget the Lord your God and follow other gods and worship and bow to them, I testify against you today that you will surely be destroyed. Like the nations the Lord destroyed before you, so you will be destroyed for not obeying the Lord of God. And that's Deuteronomy 8:17, 19 through 20. These are strong words from God. Yes, they are. It demonstrates His utter impatience for any people who think what they have accomplished has anything to do with their own power. It is God who gives us the skill, the mind, the resources, the energy, the drive, and the opportunities in life to accomplish anything when we become prideful in heart. He will begin a process of reproof in our life. Today is a good day to examine whether we have fallen prey to pride. Say that 5 times. Pray to pride. Thank you, Matt.
That was good.
Are you sharing what God has entrusted to you with God's people or the needy? Are you being the instrument of blessing that God desires for His people to be? What areas of pride have crept into your life? Ask the Lord to show you this today and avoid being put on the shelf. Nothing is worse than being cast aside because of our own pride. Well, that's a good one. I am liking this new lesson. Money and stewardship. I don't know how many lessons we've got here. Oh, good. This one goes to 12. So we've got 10 more to go. And that was based on the Bible verse from Deuteronomy 8:18. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Let us know. Text into Matt, or Steve McAllister's here with us today in the studio, and Jason or myself. You can always reach me at thammock@gmail. That's THAMMOCK@gmail. Or you can reach me by the phone, 417-755-0700. And I'm real excited. I kind of want to jump ahead in what we normally do, but I'm going to use my discipline to keep this, because I've added a new program that I think everybody's going to like for buying gold and silver, and we're going to get into that in the second half of the show and so forth. But let's go to some of the pricing, because I got to tell you, there has been some interesting moves since we met last week. And if you haven't been following, this coronavirus has been creating quite the headlines. Unfortunately, there's a lot of humans that are starting to suffer from it, and some that have passed away. And most of them are in China, but it is spreading. And we've got a few cases here in the U.S. already. I saw there was one in Illinois, which isn't too far from us. And actually, they're kind of getting to the point where they think that it's, obviously going to be here. And so the markets are very volatile because of this, mainly because of some of the actions that have taken place. In China, they literally closed down the factories, it sounds like, for like 3 weeks. And you get into this supply chain strategy. So you've got 3 weeks of supplies or resources or finished products, whatever it is that you're getting out of China that's not going to be there. And so that has a ripple effect through this world economy of which we're a part of. So, when you look at Wall Street, everything is usually based on earnings. And, there's been a lot of companies here of late that have been announcing earnings that haven't met quite with expectations. And that's the forecast, is if your supply chain has been damaged or slowed down, that will eventually show itself in reduced earnings. You don't have as much. If you don't have product to sell, how can you make earnings? So, there's just a big ripple effect happening from this coronavirus, and I don't think we quite understand the total effect just yet, nor will we probably for some time. But needless to say, the markets have been crazy. Now, gold, as of 9:13 this morning, was $16.35 and 30 cents. Now, these are per ounces. These are for the precious metals, so I'm giving the prices per ounce, which is amazing because about this time last week it was about $15.34, give or take. Silver right now is $17.95, and there again it was less this time last week. Platinum is $913. Palladium is $2,766 an ounce, and rhodium is $12,400. And all 5 of those have just had a real interesting last 6 months, and some of them are kind of backed off their highs. Gold and silver both were higher just a couple days ago. Gold actually almost touched $1,700 an ounce. And I know silver was up to about $18.45, give or take. And just like we've talked about in prior shows, you've got a lot of people that are in this stuff for short-term gains. They're speculators. So they're not going to stay in there very long. And the minute they can, buy gold at $15.50 and then sell it for $16.50, they're out. And that's their strategy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not my strategy. So, I'm more of a long-term type person, as far as once I've added something to my portfolio, I'm going to hang on to it for a while. I want it to do its work its magic, so to speak, and then after either reaching my goals or deciding that it's going to be a disappointment, then I'll make a decision to move it out. But that's probably looking at maybe like a 12-month time frame at least. So anyway, that's what's going on with the precious metals. Let's look at the base metals. Now, these prices, remember, are by the pound. So copper is $2.54, nickel is $5.62, aluminum is 76 cents, zinc is 92 cents, lead is 86 cents, and uranium is $24.70 a pound. And I will tell you, there's a lot of people I follow that think uranium's going to be the big surprise this year. So, if you're in that mode, you might take a look. Now, oil is down to $49.91 a barrel. And, you kind of have to ask yourself, why would oil be less? You know, I mean, that's the one thing I love about all this is there's so many interactions. There's so many interrelated combinations. You know, if employment is higher, how does that affect the economy? Or if housing starts are lower. Well, here we've got a situation where crude oil is $49.91 a barrel. That's the lowest it's been probably since we've been doing the show. And you got to wonder why. And all I can think of, and this is just me speculating, so I probably should check my sources and make sure I'm on the right track, but I got to think if this coronavirus is shutting down factories and more people are staying home, they're not going out, they're not jumping on planes, flying everywhere. They're not going on long vacations, at least for the moment. Of course, that may change come summer. But my point is all of a sudden, that supply and demand relationship we always talk about, the demand is not as high as it was a month ago before this coronavirus became so prevalent. So if you don't have as much demand and you've got the same amount of supply, what happens? The price starts to slide down. So that's the one thing I can think that's going on with our crude oil. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you next week. But I'm pretty sure I'm right on target. The Dow Jones Industrial Average as of 9/16 was up 221 points to 27,282, which is amazing because you know, Monday it was down over 1,000 points. Yesterday it was down over 800 points. So, you know, so far this week we've lost about 1,900 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which actually there for a moment earlier today had us at a point where we were down 10% from the high. And that's usually the measurement people use to decide if there's been a correction, is 10%. So we had hit that 10% number as of the close yesterday from the high. And so that, you know, usually is kind of a cleansing effect. If you're familiar with forestry, you know, sometimes with forests, it's good to have a burn so it kind of clears out all the brush and all the stuff, and then all of a sudden the forest will come back with a lot of vim and vigor and refreshed and stuff. People don't believe that, but actually my freshman year of college, I was a forestry major there for about 2 semesters. And I just remember that was kind of an interesting thing. You'd think they'd want to be putting out the fires, and in most cases, like the ones in California, sure. But just like with a forest fire sometimes being a cleansing effect, these corrections in the market can also do the same. So we have that going on. Some of the headlines that I have been tracking. You know, here's coronavirus, how not to get caught in emails, scams, by Robert Herjavec. That's one of the guys that's on Shark Tank. I don't know if you all watch Shark Tank. I love that program. That is so fun. You know, I mean, boy, I tell you what, you talk about an education for the kids. The boys that end up watching it with us, you know, now if we start talking about a business, they're like, well, what are the earnings? How much are they made? How much does it cost to produce the product? You know, that's a great education. $100,000 Bitcoin is not crazy talk. Coronavirus exposes economy's weakness. Gold companies behaving more like regular companies. Base metal companies suffering means shopping time for royalty companies. Newmont to become clear gold industry leader. And on and on and on. I mean, basically, there's just a lot of uncertainty out there right now with this coronavirus and just, you know, what is it really going to do for us and stuff. And, you know, we're keeping an eye on that for everybody. Let's see what my favorite author has come up with. I thought I saw a headline earlier this morning from, oh, yep, there he is. I love this guy, Egon von Greyerz. He's out of Switzerland. Stock market crash and surge in gold imminent. This is the Kaiser report. And I won't go through and read all this. I'll read this first little paragraph here. It says, in this insightful interview, Max Kaiser and Egon von Greyers talk about the 2010s as a decade of fantasy and decadence. Central bankers' medicine has enabled the terminally ill patient to survive for much longer than he should have. But that sadly will soon come to an end. Stocks will be a complete carnage, particularly against real money like gold. The Dow gold ratio has now turned down and will crash 95% according to Egon. That takes the ratio back to a 1-to-1 level where it was in 1980 when the Dow was 850 and gold was 850 per ounce. So we will now see a crash in stocks and a surge in gold. And I know that sounds rather like, doomsday type stuff, but that is one of the scenarios. I mean, I follow a lot of people. Egon would be over here on the left, very extreme as far as the market crashing and stuff. And then you've got people like Mr. Siegel. If you ever see Mr. Siegel on CNBC, he is a big bull. He thinks stocks are going to go up, and he's got all the reasons why and stuff. You probably got Warren Buffett about here, although I did see Warren Buffett yesterday in an interview, and they were talking about how he's got, $125 million in cash at least, just because he can't find any bargains. And, Warren Buffett is what we call a value investor. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. There's a growth investor versus a value investor. And Mr. Buffett is a value investor. So if he can't find any bargains out there, what does that tell you? It tells you that the market is overbought. Everything's too high. And after these last couple days, it's not as high, which is kind of a blessing. So there may be some more bargains out there lurking around and so forth. But, I just saw Matt come back into the studio. It's a little early for this, but my hunch is he's about ready to use the golden microphone. Why don't we go ahead and do that while he's right here, and then I'll kind of get into this other part of the show that I'm excited to share with you. Take it away, Matt.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hope you're enjoying it thus far. It's very informative, and who doesn't like to hear about money and stocks and bonds and stuff? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who don't, but there are a lot of people out there that really want to find out about natural solutions. So just go online to naturalsolutionstore.bz. Check out all the products we have on there. We have hot sauce even. Llama bean fertilizer. When I say llama beans, yes, I mean llama poo. It's really good for your plants, I hear. You see how well it does to this plant back here. I'm just kidding. There's nothing in that's a fake plant. We don't actually fertilize that. I'm sure there's a spider web in there somewhere or two. But it doesn't change the fact you can go online, naturalsolutionstore.bz, and pick up everything from that to shampoo, rejuvenate face cream, stuff for aches and pains. We have CBD capsules on there in 10, 25, and 50 milligram doses. And the list goes on and on and on. And they're adding to it as much as they can, as often as they can, different products that people might find interested. So if there's nothing on there that interests you right now, keep checking it out. See if there's any change or if there's anything added to it. You can even call and talk to a doctor on there for a smaller price of going to the ER. So anyways, thank you very much, Tony, for letting me talk about naturalsolutionstore.bz. And we're going to let you have it back.
Are you done already?
Yeah.
Holy cow, I'm sitting here looking at my computer and everything. And
what a coincidence. Me too.
I know. Well, so here's what I'm excited about. In the last year or 9 months, however long it's been since we started the new gold standard, I have mentioned several gold programs on the air. Bye, Steve.
Bye.
Each one of them has their niche. Like, for example, goldbroker.com. I love them. They've got great prices. But their niche is if you want to own your gold outside of the banking industry, that's the one to go with. And if you need help, with any of these, obviously give me a call. Once again, you can reach me at 417-755-0700. Regal Assets. Regal Assets I've talked about a couple times. Regal is good with the gold IRA, gold or silver IRA, and they actually have a crypto IRA. So if you want to have cryptocurrency in your IRA, they would be the ones that offer that and stuff. We've talked about, National Gold Consultants. Probably of all the programs that I have mentioned on the show here, National Gold Consultants up in Minnesota is by far and away my favorite, especially, if you've got more than $2,000 and you're wanting to get into gold and silver. That's the one that, I'd like to share with you, or however we do it and stuff. Because, for one thing, Ryan Long, who I had here in Springfield back on October 10th, and he's called into the show, and we've had interviews a couple times, but he's been in the business forever. He grew up in the gold and silver business. His dad owned the company before him. He knows all of the intimate strategies and details. He's the one that specializes in the pre-1933 coins, which they recommend in the non-qualified accounts, so that one of the neat things about the pre-1933 coins is they are semi-numismatic, and therefore they're classified as basically cash. So the benefit to somebody is they can go into them, gold and silver, and maintain their privacy. And basically that's another way of saying they don't have to fill out a 1099 going in or coming out. They also avoid the 5-year look back. If you've got someone who's like in the state of Missouri, getting ready to possibly head into a nursing home or long-term care. They also can benefit from Internal Revenue Code 1031, which is a way to trade like-for-like properties and avoid a tax consequence. And we can get, obviously, I can make this even more complicated and stuff, but that's not my goal here this morning on the show. It's just to say that Ryan Long and National Gold Consultants, by far and away, is my favorite company, because not only do you get gold and silver, but you get a good deal of counsel and direction and so forth. And I can't say enough good things about National Gold Consultants. I'm hoping to get Ryan back in town maybe late April. We haven't set the date yet, but we've been kind of bouncing it around as far as what his schedule looks like, and taxes being due April 15th and all that kind of stuff. So I'll let you know, obviously, because if I can get Ryan back in town, I would highly, highly recommend being there, because he usually has some very interesting things to say. Let me see. I've also mentioned Karatbars a couple weeks ago. Company from Stuttgart, Germany. Karatbars is neat in the fact that they offer gold in grams. So usually we're talking about gold in ounces. And to make that very, very clear, why that's kind of interesting is, we just talked about gold being 16, right now an ounce of gold is $16.36. That's $1,636.67. And 1 gram is $52.63. So, there's just a lot of folks that can't afford $1,600. And that's okay. Everybody's in a different spot. And we understand that and stuff. But Karatbars 10, 11 years ago came up with this strategy where you can buy gold by the gram. And, so if that's something that appeals to you, give me a shout. Another company that I've mentioned on the show quite a bit has been 7K Metals. They can sell gold by the gram, and oh my gosh, I just remembered. I know I've showed this a couple times, but, here's a perfect segue into, here is my most recent gram of gold. I got this from 7K Metals probably, 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
Give or take, something like that. Back around the 1st of February. And this is from the Perth Mint in Australia. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is a little gram of gold right there in a plastic card so that it fits in my wallet if necessary, like a credit card. And basically on the back, it's got its bar number. It's got its technical specifications, gold content. Now, this is everything when we talk about gold is based on a troy ounce. So it
What's
talks.
the difference between a regular ounce and a troy ounce?
Troy ounce is more. So that when you're talking about gold, for example, in fact, just the other day, I was looking at that. Let me just see if I can find that real quick. So since the question came up.
Is that kind of like a baker's dozen is 13?
Kind of, yeah. I
Or is
mean,
it
let's
11?
just see if I can find it real quick here, because just literally yesterday. No, not Troy Aikman. We're looking for a Troy ounce.
Troy Aikman is not a sponsor of the show, but a nice guy in person.
Okay, so here I found it real quick. So gold is always measured by the troy ounce, which is equivalent to about 31.103 grams. This standard of measurement was created in France during medieval times and was later adopted by the United States in 1828 for standard coinage. A troy ounce is slightly heavier than a regular ounce, which weighs only 28 grams. So there it is. A regular ounce would be 28 grams. A troy ounce is 3.103 grams more. So when I show you, for example, this gram of gold, if I had 31 of these and then 0.103 of another one, I would have an ounce of gold. If I only had 28 of these, it would not be an ounce of gold. So that's the difference between a troy ounce and a regular ounce. I did discover yesterday that there's 12 troy ounces to the pound. We've got a big shipment that we're in the process of having done from Texas to Minnesota, and I was trying to figure out the cost and all this kind of stuff, and it got into one package was going to be 35 pounds. So I got to looking into that. But anyway, getting off in the weeds there, 7K Metals is where I got my gram of gold from the Perth Mint. And so the neat thing about that is think about that for a second. If I bought this gram back at the 1st of February, and now gold has done what it's done so far in February, it's worth more, correct? I mean, we're not talking about a lot. It probably went from $50 to $52 or $53, but still, that's the way you kind of want your investments to go, is up. And I would tell you if it was going down, I'd probably buy more so that I could get a better average cost and stuff. But anyway, without any more delay, let me get into this new outfit I've added. And a little backstory on this. This company is called Mint Builder, and you can find mintbuilder.com. My website's with Mint, well, easy for me to say, Mint Builder. I can't believe I did that. If you're wanting my website, it is mintbuilder.com/671862. And that'll take you to the website, which is what I've got on my computer screen as we speak. And they've just got a really neat program of format. Here's the main reason I like them. With 7K Metals, theirs was a membership program much like a Costco or a Sam's Club or even an Amazon.Prime. And their lowest membership was $199, which, is not bad when you consider you can buy gold and silver at dealer cost. So if you're buying a substantial amount of gold and silver, it makes sense. It's kind of like having a Sam's membership. If you just buy the membership and you never go, you're sitting there thinking, well, gosh, that was real expensive, and I don't know if I want to do that again when the year's up. Well, if you're using Sam's, like my family and I do, the pharmacy is great, the gas stations, you can get some great value. When it comes time for that annual renewal, we've saved way more than that membership fee. So it's an easy decision to make to renew. I know it's always in June for us for some reason. Well, the same holds true with 7K. So with Mint Builder, there is no upfront fee. So, for example, if you wanted to just get into Mint Builder as a customer, you can do that, and they do everything in bundles. So like the customer bundle is, I want to say $39, and then you can go in and you can buy gold and silver or the jewelry or the bullion or whatever at what I have discovered to be the best doggone prices out there. And you got to know, I'm doing this every day. So, I mean, it's not like I haven't left any stone uncovered or unturned or however that saying goes and stuff. I mean, I'm always looking for better value. One, for my own pocketbook. I mean, you know, with 4 boys, 2 in college, and one soon needing braces and stuff like that. I mean, my wife and I are trying to be as frugal and smart as possible with our money, hence the reason for the show and everything else. So mintbuilder.com has recently been added. Now, they do have another website for me that is more of a marketing website, but it does have the ability to give you, now pay attention, a free gram of silver. Not a gram of gold, a gram of silver. If you'll go to this website, and this website is preciousmetaltrends.com/671862. So once again, preciousmetaltrends.com/671862. You will basically go to a website that is my website. Right there at the top, it'll say, take a tour and discover the world's first gold and silver home business and claim your free silver bar. There's a little video there that you can watch, and it's got a thing along the bottom, recent tour takers don't miss out. And then right below that, they've got limited time offer. Get a free silver bar, complete the form, and claim 1 silver free bullion bar just for taking our short tour and brief survey. And I've done this, so I can tell you, you know, it's not like they're wanting to know intimate details. I mean, basically they want to know your name, your email address, and your phone number. Then, of course, if you want this free gram of silver sent to you, they're going to need your mailing address. The survey is very short, very non-intrusive. You know, and then a gram of silver. Now, let's make this really clear, because I don't want somebody to think that, you know, I'm not aware of this. We get back to these costs of gold and silver by the gram. And silver right now is $17.98 an ounce. Okay? So if there's 31.103 grams, that means that right now as we speak, a gram of silver is 58 cents. You know, some people would say, why do I want a free thing that's only 58 cents? Well, I'll tell you why. One is it's silver. We don't know where silver's going. There's a lot of people that project silver by a very short amount of time will be over $100 an ounce. And I got to tell you, at that point, it starts to to smell more like real money. But, I mean, how handy to have a gram of silver. If nothing else, you put it on your keychain or, you know, whatever you want to do with it, but it's silver. And I got to tell you, anytime I've had precious metals and I've gotten into a stretch where I've needed some extra money, they are very reliable. You can go down to a lot of different places in town and turn them in. One of the things I like about Mint Builder, as did 7K, they have a buyback program. In fact, for that matter, National Gold Consultants. Those 3 right there are one of the reasons why all 3 of those are right there at the top of the companies that I use and promote, is because all 3 of them have a buyback program. And it's a guaranteed buyback program here on Mint Builder. You'll see down in the west corner of your computer screen a big guarantee thing, and it says buyback. So if you buy gold or silver or palladium or platinum from Mint Builder, they will buy it back should you need to sell it. You don't have to go looking around town for a pawn shop or a coin shop or, you know, whoever it might be that you would turn to. They will take care of it for you. But one of the things that I liked about Mint Builder was not only do they have the free gram of silver, they've got a nice educational program where, if this is something you're interested in, you can learn a lot about gold and silver, palladium and platinum. They've also got a program where if you really get into it, you can access their income platform. Now, each platform does have a small fee. Remember, the customer platform was $39. The income platform, I believe, is $39. And that allows somebody to go in and then share the gold and silver and make a commission. I think the commission is like 10%. I mean, you're not going to get rich on, selling, one person, one thing. But if you're sharing it with a number of people, it does give you the ability to build a business and build it from home if you want to or need to. And they take care of everything. They take care of the back office. You don't have to have inventory. You don't have to even have a card processor. You don't have to have marketing material. You don't have to have anything, really. I mean, basically, you can get involved and, within a matter of minutes, be sending a link to your friends and family or whoever. And if they click that link and go to your website and buy something, you will get a commission for that. And they've got team matching if you really got in there. It says here, income goal, if you have one referral every 12 weeks. If you and your team achieve this simple goal of personally referring 4 subscription packs, your recurring monthly income will be over $8,000. That's $96,000 a year. This is based on a referral of Around the World Bundle. That's the one I chose last week when I started this up. And what that gets me is every month I get MS-70 silver coin from somewhere around the world. Could be Australia, it could be China, I just don't know, but it's going to be, the highest quality you can get. But so this is based on the Around the World Bundle. It could be less, or it could be much more based on averages or referrals. And it says see terms and conditions for our income disclosure. But I got to tell you, I've added it, and I will tell you the main reason why is over the last couple months, every time I've had somebody that's bought some gold or silver, I check what they're wanting to buy across all of these companies. And Mint Builder has been coming in towards the top, if not the top, just about every time. And we're talking in some cases some substantial amounts as far as the gold and silver purchased. There's just a ton of testimonials here on the website. A lot of educational things. There's a store, obviously. Let's go into the store real quick, and I'll show you how that comes together. So the store has bullion, collectible coins, subscriptions, jewelry and gifts, accessories, other wealth items, Mint Builder branded items, and then they've got an open vault shop. Now, I got to tell you, one of the things about this open vault shop that's really neat is, let's say you've got some precious metal items that you've had and are wanting to get rid of. You don't know where to go or whatever. If you had Mint Builder, you could go to this open vault shop and basically create an ad for whatever you've got. Let's say you had some gold earrings that for whatever reason you no longer want it. You could put them in there, take a picture with your phone, upload it, and it would then be in this open vault shop, and then everybody around the world that goes to Mint Builder would be able to scan through there. And if somebody in let's say Hungary, Eastern Europe, saw it and decided they wanted those golden earrings for the price that you had set, they would buy them. And guess who would get the money? You. So it's kind of a neat little feature that I have not seen before, that I was impressed with. Now, as far as the bundles, the subscriptions, you can get what they call the Silver Peace Bundle for $47 a month. And what that does is that gives you these older silver coins and the membership, and that way you can access all of this stuff. You've got the Around the World bundle, which is the one I went with. It's $97 a month, and that gets me a silver coin for about $33. That gets me the shopping cart and then the income platform. Each one of those is about $39. And then there's the Select Few bundle. This is more where you get into some of the gold coins. Now it's a little bit more expensive. It's $179 a month, but you save $40 per month by doing this bundle. On the Around the World one, you save $22, and on the Silver Peace bundle, you save $2 per month by doing it in a bundle. And then they've got the member platform where you can just be a member for $39 a month. And then they've got the free sales affiliate limited access account, which is $0. But you can be listed as an affiliate and at least be able to use some of the back office for marketing and so forth. They've got a plethora of marketing items, and like I said, I mean, I've been looking at this company for probably a year. I mean, I'm usually am very slow and methodical when I'm vetting new product or company to add to what I do. Let me see. Contact. That's how to get a hold of Matt, the CEO. One thing this company does that's kind of interesting is they do have a company that they support called Feed My Starving Children. And let me get back down here. Feed My Starving Children, which has an efficiency rating of more than 91% and a Charity Navigator rating of 4 stars. I guess that 91%, from what I understand, means that for every dollar that they raise, 91 cents actually is into food and given to children. It says here at Mint Builder, not only are we building your legacy with precious metal assets, you are also helping to feed starving children all over the globe, allowing them to create a legacy of their own. I have personally been involved with donating and volunteering my Feed My Starving Children for more than a decade, and the reason why is simple. They have the biggest positive impact on the largest amount of people for the lowest expense. Now that's efficiency. They have always maintained the highest nonprofit rating as well as maintained the highest percentages, 91%, of all money donated used directly for food. This is the highest percentage I've ever seen. Now this is coming from Matt Barkus, the CEO of Mint Builder. Every month you are on a subscription. You are feeding hungry children in over 100 countries around the globe. The more subscriptions you refer to the others, the more meals that are being sent out each and every month, all because of you. So I want to say a big thank you. And, you know, they've got pioneering food formulas. I mean, they've got kids all over the world that are receiving food on a monthly basis. And, I mean, I won't say it was the main reason that I added Mint Builder, but I thought that was a nice touch because, you know, there's just nothing worse than, you know, hearing about some of these countries over in Africa or Europe or, you know, South America, wherever it may be, where, you know, the kids don't have the right protein. They don't have food like we do. You know, my kids always kind of roll their eyes because, you know, the other night, Luke, we'd gotten something. I can't remember what it was now. But he took a couple bites, and then he was on the way to go throw it in the garbage can. And I got on him. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I was going to throw it away and put the dish in the dishwasher." I was like, "What? Bring that back here." And he's, you know, kind of slumps his shoulders and brings it back to the table. And, of course, I said, "Now think of the starving kids in Africa, you know." And he rolled his eyes and stuff. And you know, I mean, I'm kind of used to that with the boys now. But, you know, for the most part, I mean, I said, hey, it's true. I mean, there are people in the world that are less fortunate than us that don't have the ability to get 3 square meals a day. And then, you know, there's also the people that don't have access to clean water. So that gets off in a whole other area, off into the weeds and stuff, like as I call it. But just to kind of wrap it up, I've added Mint Builder. You can reach Mint Builder at, let's see if I can find it real quick for us. There it is. Mintbuilder.com. That's MINTBUILDER. So you're building your own mint. Mintbuilder.com/671-862. And then if you want to go in and claim your free gram of silver, you can go to preciousmetaltrends.com/671-862. And I would highly recommend anybody who's watching the show to go to both of those, check it out. You know, if you have questions, you're always welcome to call me at 417-755-0700. You're also welcome to email me at tony@thegoldaffiliate.com. I wish the camera was on Matt. We could see him falling asleep.
Ouch. Well, you got about 4 minutes left.
Oh, I don't even know if I need 4 minutes, man. I've been talking, and last week we had Sharon on.
My boots, what I was doing. Yeah, just looking at my boot.
Okay, there you go. Last week we had Sharon Volz on from Montana, and she had a lot of good information and stuff.
Shocking interview.
Yes, of course, and she is a neat lady. Next week I may have one of the top people at Carrot Bars on. She and I have been trying to get on the same calendar or same schedule here now for a while, and she's very busy traveling and so forth. But you know, once again, if you ever have any constructive criticism, questions, ideas, requests for information, all those kinds of things, shoot something to Matt, or reach out to me direct, tony@thegoldaffiliate.com, or 417-755-0700. I will tell you that, you know, if you don't have 10% of your portfolio in gold and silver, you should, especially more so now than ever because of some of the things that have been taking place out there in the market. And other than that, I hope everybody has a safe day, a good rest of your week, and we always appreciate you tuning in. I'm grateful to Pam and Jim Whining for allowing me to come on the air, Dr. Paul Collins for having the Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group. And, you know, there's just a lot of good work going on here. If you're not involved with Acts Media, you should, or excuse me, Acts Ministry, you should. Matt's dad has a ministry for veterans. Steve, that was here a little while ago, has his show on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. And I could go on and on, but I won't. So thank you for watching, and have a great week.